Dana, you have some interesting shit on your fridge. May I just bring that up casually?
Oh?
Which is kind of great because it's like the perfect segue from our food episode, our last food episode, into today, and what because no, it's not, because this week we're talking about therapy.
Yeah, this is Sweet Little Ladies.
Oh yeah, this is Sweet Little Ladies.
I'm Dana Ehrmann.
I'm Raegan Niemela.
And we're chatting, and you were saying there's some interesting stuff on my fridge?
We got a Brew Crew poster. We are in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. If you're listening from far away, we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So Dana is, and I am an amateur brewer fan.
You're such an amateur.
I am one of those fair weather fans in the sense of I didn't live in Milwaukee until the Brewers started playing really well, and now I'm kind of into it.
Well, now you can never leave.
And now I can never leave. There's a rainbow pad that I think has all 7 days of the week on it.
It does. Haven't touched it.
It's untouched.
Just for show.
There is a 723 and then the name Brita on an erase board.
That is the last time I changed my Brita filter.
Oh, 723?
Yeah, that's July 23rd.
Yeah, of last year.
Yeah.
Right now is May.
But hey, I'm not a gross monster. I haven't actually had any water from my Brita pitcher since then either.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. There's a very interesting drawing of a face on the side. 2 interesting faces on that side. Those actually look really cool.
I would love to tell you. So one is...
Tell me.
A purposely bad drawing of Simone de Beauvoir.
Okay.
And the other is actually a drawing by our friend Josh Ballou.
Oh.
He created a book called Things That Should Exist But Do Not. And one, it's kind of like puns.
Okay.
And one is Felon DeGeneres. So that's a drawing of Ellen DeGeneres as a hardcore prison inmate.
I don't know that I've actually ever been introduced to Josh. I know who Josh Ballou is through comedy, and I think we were at one show when I first started, but I'll have something to talk about him with.
Yeah, and okay,
Felon DeGeneres.
Retraction, my friend.
Josh Ballou. Not my friend. I don't know who that is. I know that.
Okay.
But yeah.
That's my fridge.
Dana, I want to ask you, last episode.
Yeah.
Who knows when we're releasing them. I'm not going to pretend like we adhere to any kind of fucking schedule.
No.
This is some bullshit. Last episode, we asked if we did something that made us feel like a sweet little lady. For this episode, I want to ask, did you see somebody do something that made them a sweet little lady?
So, I didn't see it.
Okay.
But I was told about it.
Oh, yeah.
One of my best friends... Her name is Alexanne. She went on a first date with a gentleman and immediately burped. And I love you, Al. And that's a sweet little lady.
That is a sweet little lady.
Because fuck the norms. Fuck.
Goddamn right.
Fuck, being couth.
Being couth.
You gotta belch, you do it.
You goddamn take care of your body. You let out you let what's in that needs to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Emotions?
Raegan, did you see anything but emotions? What about you? Did you see something where you thought, sweet little lady?
100%. This morning when I was walking to work, I got off the hop and I walked down the block. And there was, the hop is like a little train in Milwaukee, and I got to the corner right across from my building, and at the bus stop there was a tall, slim man with headphones on, clearly jamming out, and dancing like an insane person.
I saw that too.
Shut up!
I saw it too. Yes. Milwaukee is a small, big city.
He was such a sweet little lady. I was like, you fucking get it? I was kind of like dancing, watching him a little bit, and I was like, oh no, don't do that. And then I was like, oh fuck it, no, I'm gonna dance a little bit. But then I had to, go to my cubicle and die on the inside like 5 minutes after that.
But isn't that, I feel like I'm making progress as a human being and as a sweet little lady when I see something like that, because it's so easy to just be a negative, person.
Yeah.
And to shit on something that
like,
makes somebody else
wrong
happy.
with him.
Yeah, to be like,
He's
oh,
weird.
that's weird. But you know what? Like, this guy has clearly found some joy in this sick, sick world we live in.
Goddamn right.
Where I was like, I love you, man.
Yeah, it was really good. This is because you ride the Green Line.
Sometimes.
Right down Water Street. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what you were on? Is that
but
what
I actually was just driving
you
down
drove
Water Street
and
and saw it because I was stopped at the stoplight.
And we both go to work late.
Yeah. Amazing that we're employed.
Yeah, it truly is. Oh, please, if you're either of our employers and you're listening to this, don't fire us. We really need our jobs.
And also,
not so bad that we'll change our behavior, though.
Pay us to do this because we'll always be on time for this. That's not even fucking
That's
true.
very untrue. We would be an unreliable talent at best.
Absolutely.
But yeah, this, when you hit the tape, sorry. I don't need to chastise you. If you're a sweet little lady and you need your foot up there, I understand, but we can hear it in the microphone, Dana, who's just sprawling right now. It's very glorious.
I feel like, no, I'm just going to say thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for being a sweet little lady.
Thank you for not being mad.
I love you, man. Okay.
Sweet little lady.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, this week we're going to talk about therapy. And actually, I want to start off, because I feel like I always leave it to the last, with doing our how to get laid tip.
Oh, how to get laid.
How to get laid.
You know what?
Go to therapy.
Yes. Yeah. Therapy. And honestly, that's the most real tip we've ever dropped 100%. On this podcast. Go to therapy.
You'll get laid.
You'll get laid.
That's true. Maybe by your therapist.
Oh, that's... You know what? There's some regulations that say...
That would be very wrong.
To that.
That would be 100% wrong.
Oh, that's so pure and good.
Yeah.
Therapy... God, we don't even have a fun title for that, do we?
Fainting couch.
I don't even know what you just said.
For some reason, I think that like a fainting couch and a therapist couch are the same thing, but I don't think they are.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Freud a friend instead of phone a friend. Freud a friend.
Freud a friend.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah. Oh,
we're getting closer.
Thank you for lady-splaining.
Lady-splaining. Sorry, yes, lady-splaining. Which lady-splaining should also be a word. Because I definitely have ladies over-explain things that are very obvious to me. So let's put some fucking copyright on that shit.
Freud a friend.
Freud a friend.
Yeah, we're talking about therapy.
Therapy.
Woo, doggies. This is a...
We're gonna cry. We're gonna yell. We're gonna laugh.
Well, you know what, Raegan? I'm not gonna cry because I'm on Prozac and I can't cry.
Seriously?
No, I can. I, in fact, had a rough couple weeks. I can definitely still cry.
We can cry.
But I didn't cry for like a year.
Oh, fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, fuck no? I don't know. Did you want to cry?
Thing.
Yeah.
I never wanted to, I didn't want to cry for just like things in my life, but sometimes I would watch a movie and I'd be like, oh, I definitely would have cried at this before, and maybe I would have liked to. But anyway, not to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get deep into it. Mental health, baby.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Do you want to start with your origins? Do I start with my origins?
Yeah. Why don't you start?
Okay.
I want to know your
Buckle the fuck up.
Let's do it.
No, I mean, the first time I saw a therapist, I was a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
But I always,
pretty young.
Was that a judgment?
No. It's like when people lose 2 virginities once they're therapists.
Oh my god. Well, this one happened first.
The other you'll have to talk to your therapist about.
So, yeah, I first saw one sophomore year of high school. But I mean, like, really all my life, whether or not I realized it, just, like, very anxious, you know. But, like, some things came to a head sophomore year, and I asked to go, and had a wonderful woman named Marianne.
Oh, I love her already.
This is something that's very important to me.
Yeah.
Your therapist has got to have a good name.
Very
and it's got
true.
I mean, in all seriousness, obviously you find whoever works for you.
Yeah.
But if I can just be a level above that and joke about this,
yeah,
you need a middle-aged woman with a therapist's name. Okay?
Even if it's a man. Gotta be a boy named Sue. Johnny Cash style. Do
Yes,
it up.
Absolutely. A man named Shannon.
Yeah.
that sparks something for you.
Isn't Shannon like Kelly is like
Yeah.
both. Is Shannon one of those names?
Shannon is one of those names.
All right.
So Marianne, yeah, I mean,
Getting comfy.
yeah, I mean, how serious do you want to get? I mean,
As serious as you want.
Like I said, I mean, anxiety was always there, but then also at that time, it was like my brother moved away, my dad got cancer.
Oh shit.
This
is.
it's
We know each other, but we don't know. We no.
Some of the,
yeah.
I mean, and really, like, something happened at school too. I mean, like, this guy, like, sort of. This is so serious. I'm fine. Like, he sort of, like, choked me against the wall. I don't know.
Wait. Okay. Was it okay? I don't. Not to make light of your traumatic event.
I'll make.
But was it like a choke slam into the locker? Like, was he trying to get some lunch money, or was it? And when you say guy, this was another child, right? This wasn't an adult.
I mean, he was in high school.
Sorry. Yeah, you said high school. You said high school. So it's
it
somewhat
was
of an adult.
like that, just not as hard, but yeah.
Why did he do that to you?
What? That was the thing. Is we were not speaking. We were not interacting.
You didn't even know the guy. Did you know him?
I knew him.
Okay.
But it just happened.
Yeah.
It's like all these things like came together.
And a little bit of a head.
Yeah. And also, fucking, you know what was sad is Marianne told me, because that was also the year I was taking AP World History.
Yeah.
Did you take AP World History in high school?
I took AP US History.
Okay.
No, I took both. I took both. Yeah.
Because AP World History was the one, at least at my school, was the first AP class you could take when you were a sophomore. And Marianne was like, you would be amazed. The high percentage of my clients are here because of AP World History and how stressful it is.
Up.
And I believe it. At the time, it seemed very important.
Actually, correction, I did AP Euro.
AP Euro.
European. I don't know why I said it like that.
European.
Wait, I had something I wanted to ask you. Oh yeah. I was like, wow, you're being a piece of shit. Were you okay after he choked you?
Yeah, well, I mean...
Also, I hate to say this, but you're kind of more badass with me knowing that about you, which is horrible. But I don't want that to happen to you, but just that you are a strong, independent woman that you are, having been choked by some random dude. That's pretty badass, Dana.
Well, and I want to take the compliment, but I also want to be truthful. I mean, it wasn't for very long.
Okay.
And it wasn't...
That's good.
Like, max strength.
Also good.
So...
Not that makes it okay.
Well, exactly. That's the thing, is that bottom line, this person put their hands on me.
Completely unacceptable, yeah.
So, but I also don't mean to make it more dramatic.
For sure.
Yes. So, yeah, I was fine. I was really just angry, and it's just super fucking... Whether it's in a sexual way or not, like, someone putting their hands on you that you did not give permission is very strange and distressing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I saw Marianne. I probably saw her for, like, a year.
Okay.
And she was very helpful. But a couple of things about it is, one, I stopped going.
Okay.
Because
I'm started
cured.
Choking people.
Yeah, I'm like, is because I was telling her that I had a friend who was, like, upsetting me, and she told me that I needed, the next time I saw that friend, to confront them.
Oh.
And I so badly did not want to do that.
That you just
got home and I told my mom, like, I'm good. Like, I'm not going back.
I don't have any problems.
I'm sorry, Marianne.
Mom, everything's going to be great for forever.
And, but the other funny thing about it is, it was very helpful
at
the time, but, like, now as an adult, it didn't even, like, scratch the surface of anything, you know? And I'm sure when I'm older, I'll look back now and think the same thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then I will... Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just talking so much.
No, yeah.
So then, when I was in college, probably sophomore year of college, it was really stupid. I saw the...
College was stupid. The therapy
was... All of the above. It was really stupid because I saw the campus counselor twice.
Oh, never see a campus counselor.
Absolutely.
Mistake number one.
Because you know what?
They don't give a shit. No, I don't. They probably some of them do. I don't. That's
some
terrible.
Of them, but
they're overworked and underpaid. Would be my assumption with any campus counselor.
Well, and also the thing of it is, because of the overworkedness.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their philosophy was, hey, the process here is you see me twice, and if you need more help than that, I need to just refer you to someone on the outside.
Yeah.
I can't, like, have weekly sessions with you.
So why even start?
And here's the other thing that really pissed me off about it, other than it being unhelpful, is, like, you know, we'll talk more about stigma in a little bit, but it was very distressing. Two things. One, I would go, her office would be, like, in our area where, like, the gym was and the nurse was and everything. Okay. And so you gotta go, and if you want to see her, you gotta, like, walk up, and the person manning the desk is this fucking girl that I have biology class with. And
Fuck
so
that. Yeah, no.
And it's not even enough just that they know, but, like, they made me fill out a survey that made me start crying in the waiting room. And so, like, then, you know, you just have a classmate right there. Same thing with, I went to a very small school where we just have, like, this one main road that you, like, walk up and down. And so, like, the counselor would, like, take lunch, and I would pass her, and she'd be like, hi, Dana. And it's just...
Oh, yeah.
Like, now I have way different views about, like, I don't give a fuck who knows if I'm in therapy or whatever.
We're fucking podcasting.
But you should, right, you know, it wasn't giving me the choice to let people know.
Yeah. Let you be the one to be like, hey, therapist. Yeah. Versus giving you the power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, I'll try to wrap this up quick. Then, after graduating college, I saw someone, but here's the thing. Her name was Haley.
Too young. Too young.
She wasn't that much older than me.
What, was she full of life?
She was full of life. And here's what's so fucked up is she was objectively very hot. I can't talk to someone like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing it right now.
You know what I meant. I can't open up in a therapist setting. Oh,
jokes. No, you don't want a therapist who's, like, super young and hot and successful. Fuck that.
And named Haley.
Yeah. So, named Haley. Yeah, where you, like, you think about her, like, Haley's still getting grounded. She's, like, 30.
Exactly. So that didn't last too long. But now...
Yeah.
Now, for more than a year, maybe it's like a year and a half, been seeing a lovely woman named Sue. That's exactly who you need, is somebody named Sue.
That was my first really good therapist.
See?
Sue.
If you find a Sue, you hold on to her.
She's in New York now. Sue, if you're listening. You did such good work.
What if she was listening? That would be dope.
Oh, man, I hope someday. I forget her last name. I would say it right now. I would totally call her out. Inappropriately.
Now I see Sue. For a while it was once a week. Now we're on every other week.
Hell yeah.
And she's great.
Yeah.
Raegan.
Fuck yeah. Dana?
Tell me about your origins.
That was very good. My origin sounded like I was getting teared up there
already.
But yeah, I first saw. I guess it was technically a counselor. I don't really know what the difference is, if there is one or if it's just verbiage. But when my parents got divorced, we had to go see a counselor. I believe that was like part of the court blah.
Okay, so when you say had to, like had to.
Yes, and it was a terrible experience. Oh. The counselor knew our family personally. We all went to the same church. Oh. Testified in the divorce to the judge, and despite like, I don't know. I was too young, and to be honest with you, that's the thing about divorce. Especially when you're at that young age, where I just don't have a lot of memories, particularly because when you're young and you go through trauma too, you just block shit out. I like had this like weird memory come back to me the other day about a pair of pajamas that I loved when I was a young kid, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why did I even remember this? And then like this thing that I was doing in my room where I was pretending I was like, I had a dragon. Anyways, we're gonna do a dragon podcast, by the way. Love dragons. Love the dragons.
First disagreement about the podcast.
Jokes. But yeah, so I had to see this counselor, and I don't know the real version of events. Probably nobody really knows the real version of events, because my parents have their own versions. My older brother has his version. I don't really have a version of my own childhood. I'm just like, it happened, and now I'm 25. But I guess things that I said and things that Josh said to him, he like said the opposite to the judge.
Jesus.
And at least that's what some people told me. Not gonna get into the details. Mom, Dad, it's been like 15 years since you've been divorced. Longer. Like, let's all get over it.
Guys.
Marsha, Dave, can't we all be a family again? You don't have to be married, but can we just be in the same room? No, I'm joking. They're fine. They're great. So that was my first awful experience, and
that's
and he was a man. His name was Mr. Kitchens. Ugh.
Oh my god,
he actually was an adorable old man, but like, yeah, he sucked.
And what a shame. Obviously, you're gonna continue your story. Mm-hmm. It doesn't end there, but how easily it could have ended there. Like, your first thing, you're forced into it.
Yep.
And then it's a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Like, it would be extremely understandable for someone to be like, yeah, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah. I think I then saw a few sporadic ones never... Because, like, when you do that when divorced, I think at least divorcee moms just, like, want you to be in therapy. Like, I remember my mom sending me to at least one other person, but I remember one guy I saw... Actually, and he was actually really cool, because he was Native American, 100%, and it was in Green Bay. This is the only one I really remember from this period, and his entire office was like all the Native American stuff, and it was cool because I liked him because I was at the age where I was kind of curious, and he let me just not even talk about the divorce stuff, and we just talked about the stuff that he had on the walls, and and then he would kind of like tell me a story about when you go through trouble, and like maybe this thing that had to do with that, and it was like a way for him to kind of leverage me out of it and open up to him. But I remember distinctly, I didn't go to him for very long. Again, it was a man, which I think is as tough when you're a girl, young, vulnerable girls in particular. So it was slow progress, and I didn't have enough time to really get to know him. But I remember that being like, it was like, because the only counselors too that I had previously were like Upper Peninsula, like, like your neighborhood dude. He's like grilling, and just like a very like dad. It was like talking to your dad. This is like the first guy who was like, he was different, unique, and just very genuine about who he was, and like his culture too, which I think for somebody who was at that age moving around and feeling very that was the other thing I really loved about it, was like I felt very not tied down to anything, because we were moving and moving and moving after the divorce. Yeah. This guy, I walk into this office and it's like, it's his family, it's his culture. He just felt grounded, and I needed somebody who like knew who they were, knew what their life was, even though that's probably not entirely his story, because everybody has trauma and things like that.
Sure, but like just
he presented that to me.
Yeah,
and it was really, really cool. And then I didn't have a really good therapist though until I got to college. I shouldn't say really good, but like a really good experience until I got to college, and I saw somebody for some of the things we were talking about last week with food. I don't think I had any specific eating disorder, but like definitely had a very unhealthy relationship with binging and purging and blah, which we all do. Who buys a bag of Old Dutch dill pickle chips and doesn't eat it in one sitting? Nobody does that.
Nobody does
that.
I'm trying to imagine the amount of willpower, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
But that was a tumultuous time because of the divorce. My dad and I hadn't had really a relationship, even, because I just multitude of reasons we don't need to get into. And my mom and I, our relationship was strained at that point. So I was in college. Finally, I was away from my family, and I was basically Sue. One, helped me with my self-image and, you know, just trying to figure out what the fuck I am. And then two is how to reconnect with like your parents as an adult, and my main challenge, which has always been setting up some fucking boundaries, man, because I will if you know how to push my guilt buttons the right way, I would murder someone for you. Like, if you could, it is not hard to manipulate me. I am telling you.
Let's talk about that maybe post podcast.
I do want to say though, you were talking about the shitty counselor in college, like the college like worker one,
and just the process.
The process. I went to one of those. I remember I had sort of an altercation with my dad where one visit just didn't go well, like nothing physical or anything like that, but there was a little bit of shouting, and I told her what happened, and she literally told me it was my fault.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm not saying I didn't have any I definitely contributed to the intensity of that situation. I was kind of being a bitch, but she was just like, didn't give me, like, I was basically coming to her be like, how do I fix this? Things were going so great with my dad. Now this happened. I don't know what to do. And she was like, well, just don't do that. I was like, fuck you. Like, wow. What is your fucking degree in being a dick? Like,
do that.
Just don't do that, and then you won't be mad. That's great advice. Thank you so much. And also, help me grow. Help me be less shitty in that situation.
Yeah, I don't think, even if it were 100% your fault, you just don't approach anyone with it's your fault.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
What was that's the psychology books that you get. It's like what to do when you do something bad. Don't do that.
I never thought of that.
Oh shit.
My God.
Depression and how to get over it.
Don't have it.
Don't have it.
Don't do it.
Don't have it. Feel sad and then stop.
And then nip that in the butt.
Yeah.
That's wild. I'm trying to think. I don't mean to. So that's just plain shitty.
Yeah.
There are a couple things. I love a therapist. She's very good, but she's said a couple things to me that I'm just kind of like, what? Like one time,
the college one.
No, the one I have right now.
Oh, really?
So like she's great, but one time I did say something and she's like, it is what it is. And I was like,
if I wanted that advice, I would have talked to Karen in HR.
Exactly.
All right.
Like, or I would have read like a
BuzzFeed article.
Exactly. Like I'm still trying to work that into a bit. I read, a mug at a Snoopy antique store, like
a Snoopy fridge magnet.
Yeah, exactly.
That I got at a gas station in Nebraska. It is what it is.
But okay, so then, that was Sue in college.
Man, but do we just define the podcast? It is what it is. Oh, I hate us. And I love us. Sweet little ladies. It is what it is.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. It is what it is. But so you had Sue in college, and then where do you go from there?
Okay, awkward. I guess I'm breaking my own HIPAA violation in saying this. But my therapist actually knows Ryan Mason, who's like a local comic, which is kind of like, not personally, not like she also treats him, like personally knows him as a human being. So like it was kind of cool. I stumbled upon this lady, a mutual friend went to that same office, sees a different therapist, but was like, it's a great place and I like it. And so I was like, all right, well, I'll go there since you go there, and that makes me feel more comfortable. Sure. And I got this girl, Allison.
I had the same thing, by the way. Like,
did you really?
Someone, I can't break any
HIPAA violations.
Yeah, but someone that I know recommended it, and
it meshed.
Yeah, everything has come together in weird ways.
It's like when you really need a good brunch place, and you're like, well, if somebody tells me to go there, then I'm more likely to go there than if I just Googled it. Yeah. But yeah, so I went in, and I was kind of nervous about her initially. She just seemed too like somebody I would want to hang out with too much. She's older than me. Sorry, she's not like old. She's actually quite young. I think she's in her like early 30s. I would be my guess. But she's older than me enough to the point where, like you were saying, that age gap where it's like they're too young. She doesn't feel quite too young. She's probably right at the cusp where I feel comfortable with where she's at.
Okay, any younger and...
Yeah, her name is Allison, which I can deal with. It's okay.
Yeah,
she's not, no Sue.
no, it's definitely not on a Sue or a Marianne level.
But she's no Haley either.
Exactly. I think you said it perfectly. Like, you can deal.
I can deal. Mm-hmm. And I think she gets the whole comedy thing. In the thing you were saying, too, about how your one counselor that you went to said, oh, I treat everybody because of AP World History. Yeah. One thing I love about her is a majority of her clients, I guess, apparently are, like, or I guess a lot of them, I don't know. And this is probably partially just geographically, statistically likely because we are in downtown Milwaukee, surrounded by law firms. But I am a paralegal by day. Shit. And I guess, like, she's like, yeah, I have historically just treated a variety of people who work in the field of law because it is like one of the unhappiest fucking careers you could have.
That's funny.
Oh man, because people are just mad all the time.
Yeah,
which I like.
A lot of joy in that. To
protect my job. I would like to. I do like my job, but it is a high intensity, high stress, high fast pace, and
no one could deny that.
That is draining on any individual for sure. Yeah, so that's how I came to be with her, and I really like her, and we jive, and I think I actually need to schedule to see her, but she is the first one too where I just feel has really pushed me to be accountable and make and implement changes, and has given me every goddamn resource I could ask to do it, because that is my thing where I'm like a big picture person. I love to say, like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna and I'm like such a dreamer, and then at the end of the day I just fucking go home, I go to an open mic, get a little buzzed and pass out and don't meet any of my goals. That's 100% who I am. Is because I'm too
like looking in a mirror.
Yeah, she's like, shut up, Raegan, stop, take 1 fucking hour to do what you want to do, then go do it. And if you're late, and you just fucking make the time happen, because if you don't, you're gonna be eating that Jack's Pizza at 1 a.m. tonight, and then the next morning you're gonna wake up, you're gonna burp, you're gonna taste that Jack's Pizza, and you're gonna be mad that you even preheated that oven, man.
Well, shit, Allison, that was...
She's dope.
I think therapy is something I really wanna... I talk about it a little in stand-up, but I have so much more that I want to mine from it.
Yeah.
And one has been especially even starting in high school, it's just funny because I was such a good student, always do my homework, but then on the flip side, if a therapist asked me to do anything,
you'd be like, no.
Yeah, it's I will not do that. It's
I'm
very
fine.
Hard. Yeah,
I just pay these $20 copays for fucking shits and giggles.
Right? I just like writing checks. So that's hard. Yeah, I don't know if I'm Can I get weird again?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me... I'll get weird.
Let's...
Oh.
Are we getting naked?
I
don't know if that's okay.
That'd be even weirder because it would just be for us.
I mean, the podcasters we're actually naked right now.
Yeah, we're totally naked.
Just some wife beaters and white undies in this bitch. It's like a goddamn sauna in here, like a sweat lodge. Yeah.
You are from the UP.
Yeah.
By God, sauna.
You know it.
God,
sauna
for those of us
that are monsters and enjoy pronouncing foreign words incorrectly. What is that? A quesadilla you got in your fridge over there, and you?
No, but
You were saying.
It's weird because I feel like on TV or in movies, tell me your experience with this.
Are we getting in the stigma part? Is this where we're like...
Sort of.
Okay.
Some of it.
A little bit of a
I feel like it all blends together.
Touche.
Yeah, tell me your experience if you feel comfortable. But, it took a long while. I always imagined you would, go to therapy and the therapist would be like, you have blank.
Yeah.
And in my experience, they don't really. So, I mean, it took a long time for me to actually know what I was dealing with, other than just, guess. So, particularly, I mean, anxiety and depression, nobody came out and said it, but I kind of knew.
Yeah.
But, like, OCD is something that I realized that I had for a long time.
Okay.
But, like, I didn't know up until recently, really.
Oh. They didn't tell you?
No, and I think
Dana, you can't WebMD these things.
The hell I can't. I think there's... So for OCD in general, there's so many different kinds.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, you know, they just think it's, like, what is trouble with symmetry? Like, people imagine, you know, oh, I gotta be neat.
Or the light switch thingy, where you gotta, like, do the light switches before you go in and out. Yeah, I think that's, like, I remember being a kid, and I was like, that's what OCD is. Mm-hmm. Because you see that in movies.
Yeah, and so, like, what I struggled with the most growing up, I wasn't aware that was a kind.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was a problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that it was that. And also...
Oh, you did the light switch thing?
Well, so for me, OCD is kind of two things. It's like one is sort of checking.
And that's checking. Checking is what that's called?
Checking is just like
I'm
there's
learning
something...
all kinds of shit right now. This is really interesting.
Like for me, it's checking to see if I locked my car, even though I know I did and I've already checked, but like I'm gonna do it again. Or like, is my fridge door closed? Is that faucet all the way off? Did I turn that light off?
Okay.
Like things that...
Where does that line between the anxiety and the OCD? Because like I could also see that somebody being like, oh, I'm just an anxious person, like I check my... Like, they might not, like, label it as OCD. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Is it, like, a repeat? Is it the number of time?
It has to do with repetition.
Okay.
But then I don't even feel comfortable saying more than that because...
It depends on the person.
It depends on the person, and, you know, I don't know.
And that's your own... You get to decide, I think, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And then the other part for me, this is what I never understood, is, like, it's hard for me to even explain now, but there's something about... feeling like things are contaminated. And I don't even necessarily mean germs.
Oh.
Germs are certainly a part of it.
Okay.
But I mean...
Good thing I am a sweaty little lady on your couch right now.
Don't think I didn't think about it.
All kinds of contaminated up in this bitch.
Well, it is like having a problem with certain people or certain things touching my stuff.
Okay.
I mean...
Jesus.
What?
I'm just like thinking about how dirty I am in your apartment right now. You're like go clean for like 3 hours after I leave. I feel awful.
No. Well,
I had to walk in very hot and humid weather to get here, and I'm disgusting at the moment.
Well, I mean, I'll use you as an example, keeping in mind that I'm on medication now, and I'm like 90%. Like, it's not bothering me anymore.
Yeah.
But like, let's imagine there was something about you that I can't even explain.
Your TV just turned on? You said that I can't even explain, and then your fucking TV just turned on.
I don't like that one bit.
This is fucking haunted as shit in here. Am I sitting on like a controller or something?
Might be.
This is my phone. This is your remote.
I have another one though.
That... I might be then. Oh God. What?
That was one of the scariest things that's ever happened.
That was like one of the scariest. I don't feel comfortable leaving. I stepped on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the remote was under my foot and I definitely stepped on it. There's no ghosts. And let's talk about anxiety.
So there might just be some people who, for reasons I can't explain, like are like contaminated to me. Let's pretend you were one of those people.
Okay.
And then you're sitting on my couch.
Do you want to talk some shit and name some names right now?
Raegan, Niemela. It just, and then you're sitting on my couch, and if I think you're contaminated and doing that, like, I don't even want to sit there or touch that ever again.
What does contaminated mean? Like dirty? Like germy? Or like bad? Like a bad person?
It's like weird combinations of all of that.
Okay.
Where like, there's not even necessarily logic to it, which is why this is so maddening.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just a little... So, and God.
I'm really glad you don't think I'm contaminated.
You're not contaminated.
That's good.
The last thing I would say is, man, we're really getting into it.
Fuck yeah, let's get into it.
But, hair pulling.
Oh, yeah. You brought this up to me before.
Did I?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, so I have that. Hair pulling is, like, an OCD-ish
and not
disorder.
in like a kinky fun bedroom way.
No. And so that was always very... Oh, and I know my point about that is, I mean, the technical term for it is trichotillomania.
What the fuck did you just say?
I know, right? Like, a word you've probably never heard.
Trichotillomania?
Mm-hmm.
Trichotillomania. That's actually really fun to say. Not to lessen it as a problem at all, but like, what a fun fucking word. Trichotillomania. That sounds like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
A shortened
It's
version.
gonna be in the new Mary Poppins. It's gonna be like trichotillomania.
Is Emily Blunt singing about that?
Yeah, she's probably going a little having some mom of two, huge career, just revamped one of the most cherished and loved Disney movies. That woman needs a therapist. Just for maintenance. Like, there's nothing wrong with her, but she needs somebody to dish to, I think. Yeah.
Most definitely. But that's that's like a word you probably never heard.
No.
And
I
like,
love
nobody
it.
knows what that is.
Yeah.
So I grew up having that thinking, like, am I the weirdest fucking person in the world?
Yeah.
Am I the only person in the world who, like, pulls hair out?
Yeah.
And so I was deeply, like, ashamed and, like, thought I was, like, the weirdest. And then even when you bring it up to a therapist, like therapists don't know a lot about it.
Really?
And so it's, like, an isolating thing. And
you got, like, a hipster mental condition.
I get, yeah, maybe you've heard of it. I knew about it before
it was in the, psychological index of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, what is that called? The DSM...
the psychological appendix. I think it's called Tumblr.
It's called Tumblr. So I don't know. I'm just like putting all my shit out there, but I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm on those meds.
On the up and up, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
That's a very good point. I guess I've never been diagnosed with anything before besides, we discussed binge eating disorder. I didn't have it if I did, if I was like on a spectrum of it, it was not as severe where they had to like put me on meds or anything like that for that. It was more so like, maybe pulling me back from the brink, because I never did the binging, I always did the binging part, but I never did, I guess the other half of that is then the purging. If there's somebody out there who's listening who's like, no, it can just be the binging, okay, fine, whatever, like, label me what you think, but...
Yeah, hey, we're just talking about personal experiences, not trying to label,
tell you what your mental health is, that's your business, none of mine, unless you want to talk about it, in which case... Email us at Sweet Little Ladies Podcast. If you have trichotillomania and you have it and you feel comfortable sharing, please email your story. And
damn, I'll talk about that all day.
Maybe we'd read it. Maybe we'd read it or share it. Or if it's just for us, then just email it and say it's just for us. Yeah. But yeah, I guess I never really thought about the fact that I never got diagnosed. But I always knew, especially for who I am as a human being, is like, I am too busy, go too fast, keep myself going 100% as much as possible because I don't know what to do with downtime, and I don't do well with downtime. I either drink because I don't know what else to do and the thoughts are too bad, or I find a new project that I will inevitably not follow through on because I am too fucking busy. So, like, I've known for just, like, who I am as a person, I have to take that time every week for, or as often as I can. I've been bad about it lately, but for...
I live by a hospital, folks.
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. Didn't think about that. That's good, in case we need it. If we have a mental break in this episode. But yeah, I just know I need to, like, take the time to, like, recenter, because otherwise I'll get too far out of bounds, and then I'll start to go into a destructive spiral where I just shut everyone out around me and I need to be alone, but in the process end up being a real insert expletive of your choice. I know which one I would use if I felt fully at liberty.
Real expletive of your choice.
Cat.
A real cool cat.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, like, tell me more about what you think about the stigma that going to therapy has, that mental illness has. Like, what have you faced?
I'm one of those people who, like, there'll be some days where I'm very self-conscious. There'll be other days where it's like, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I am just, like, kind of all over the place. I think part of that's being young the other part of it is just being so exhausted all the time that I don't know who the fuck I am or what the fuck I'm doing. I'm fucking tired, but here we go. I just know with my family, like, I'm super open about it with my family. I like bringing up, I know it makes my dad a little uncomfortable, or has made my dad a little uncomfortable, bringing up that kind of shit. But to be honest with you, you know, even if something makes him uncomfortable, my dad's always just like, do your thing, get it done, whatever you gotta do, just get your shit done. So it's never really bothered me. And then even in terms of like people around, I think the only thing where I've ever felt like I don't want to discuss this or I don't want to get into it is because it is such a stereotype, you know, like the white girl who's in fucking therapy. God, aren't we all? And it's like I hate to be that stereotype, but at the same time, I think a lot of like that some stereotypes have truth, and this might be one that a lot of white girls are in therapy because you know, we have I don't want to say that any gender like doesn't have struggles, but like young women have a lot of hurdles. Yeah. Like most, and I don't want to get into my personal experience with this, but that is another reason why I got into therapy is and you know, we maybe touched on this a little bit with you, is most of the women I know that go into therapy do it because they get sexually assaulted in some way. Yeah. And that statistically, at least that we know of that is reported, happens more often to women than men. Mm-hmm. That may not be true because reporting is not totally accurate. Sure. Young men still...
Shame and stigma are definitely factors.
In that, 100%. And I definitely know tons of men who have also been assaulted by other men and by women, so it's not like it can't go both ways. But yeah, I think that might be one of the things about you know, young white girls is like you get some gross you get some gross early on, and then you just need to learn how to deal with it because you gotta get, you know, that's the other thing about young women right now is we're trying to be badass. You gotta do it dealing with some baggage. You gotta fucking get a sue. You gotta get a sue if you want to be a badass.
You gotta get a sue. And also just to counter the whole kind of, you know, all white girls, like I would just counter that, like, everyone should be in therapy, and it's a shame that 100%. Not everybody has that access. Yeah. And that's what's so fucked up about the whole thing is, like, if you're already depressed and then you don't have access, you can't afford therapy. Yep. Then that makes it worse.
It makes your position in life worse, yeah.
And your depression worse, and your, you know,
all of it. I think even if you don't have straight depression, straight anxiety, therapy at its roots is learning how to deal with emotions appropriately, which every person should do. Like, I know some people who maybe are not depressed, anxious, blah, but have anger issues. And you gotta fucking contain that shit just as much. Like, whatever. If you
I like how you started to sound angrier when you gotta fucking,
you know what? Like, Allison told me to quit fucking yelling on my podcast, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna go back and see her. I don't like what she had to say. But yeah, I think it's at the end of the day, it's learning how to, it's also, therapy is something that has taught me how to be better to others. Don't view it as like a, you know, I go to therapy because I have a problem. No, you go to therapy because you don't want to be a dick to other people. You go to therapy to learn how to deal with your shit, be better, improve yourself, improve your relationships with others, let alone if you have all these other things such as depression and anxiety. It's like the cherry on top. Try it at least once, especially if something traumatic happened to you. You might not need it forever, but if you can do it and get through a trauma more gracefully, perhaps, or whatever it is you're going through, I think that. Also, I think our comedian friend, who I guess I won't say the name because I don't want to. She's another female comic in Milwaukee. She shared a post recently that's like, everyone who's in trauma goes to trauma, or everyone who's in therapy. We go to trauma because we want trauma. No, everybody who's in therapy goes to therapy because of other people who don't see therapists. Exactly. It's like, that's so fucking true. I think most of the people I talk about, you know, in my therapy sessions have been, you know, parents, people who don't consistently see a therapist and deal with their mental issues. Mental issues sounds terrible, but like appropriate emotions, appropriate boundaries, doing right by others. Like, these are people who don't think about those things. They put pressure on, you know, I guess in my situation, just somebody who's weak about my boundaries. I'm very weak about my boundaries. I'm just, and that's not like saying like, I'm like overly compassionate. It's just more so this overriding sense of guilt if I don't do what everyone wants all the time. Mm-hmm. And that's why you end up in therapy, is because of people who don't go to therapy.
Well, I mean, I jokingly, of course, I'm not serious, but I'd like to be serious. I'm always like, if you're not in therapy, like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like, but like,
get well or get out.
Honestly, like, do right by you. And of course, if you don't have access, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's totally different issue.
But also, you were saying, you don't even have to think about it as like dealing with, it's as simple as dealing with emotions and relationships and stuff. Also, I just love that it's just getting advice from someone on various things who is not biased. And what I mean is
perspective is removed.
Yeah, because they don't love you.
Right.
And they don't actually know the other people in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is they can only go by what you say, so if you're not being truthful,
it could be skewed.
But otherwise, it's just like, if I have a problem with a friend that you know too, Raegan, and I get your advice,
oh my God,
you might have...
said my therapist doesn't love me.
Oh, no.
Yes, she does!
Isn't it a weird relationship where, like,
it is.
One of my favorite tweets said something like, I can't remember, but it was something just about, like...
It's hard to type in a tweet.
I don't have to, like, be my therapist's best patient, but I have to be her favorite. Like,
yeah,
there's something weird about that. But it's just like, if I need advice about a friend, and I ask you, if you know them, you might have
come
a
in
bias.
with my own baggage,
and they're not.
Yeah,
and so it can be as simple as like just getting a.
I guess I need a new therapist then if I ever got some beef about Ryan Mason.
Oh, that's true. If you got beef about Ryan Mason, you better look elsewhere.
The only
and
beef
let's be honest, we have beef with Ryan Mason.
Everybody's got... You don't know Ryan Mason? You got beef with Ryan Mason.
You don't even know the extent.
I've never met somebody who's forced me to watch as much shitty reality television as Ryan Mason and his wife, Nicole.
Yeah, can we shout that out? Welcome to Reality is another good podcast.
Please listen to Welcome to Reality with Ryan Mason and Nicole. How do you say her last name? Torpe?
Torpe
Mason? Torpe Mason. Yeah. Both hilarious, highly successful, funny as fuck individuals, and a very unique podcast idea. Make people who don't listen to reality TV watch reality TV, and then watch them spiral into therapy.
Yeah,
this might be a side hustle Allison and Ryan got going together. He's like, I'll get them into reality TV. They'll go mad, and then they'll go see you. Therapy.
You've been had.
Oh, you fucking got. Get got.
Yes. What a.
How do we want to end? Oh, let's end with. Are we wrapping up?
Because I totally.
Or did you have more?
No, I was just gonna ask you, like, do you have any questions or anything else you wanted to say?
I want to do two things. One, do you have a mantra or like a tool that your therapist has given you that has always been? I know you actually gave me one that your therapist gave you.
Oh yeah, I think we're probably thinking about the same thing. I mean, what's been most helpful for me is I've gotten to a point where, like, if someone is bothering you in your life or a situation or something. You just have to decide, like, whether or not it's important enough to give it the power to, like, really, like, ruin your day or ruin your mood or whatever.
Yeah.
And so many things are, like, really not worth it if you think about the grand scheme of your life.
Yeah.
And you just can't take on other people's anger and just give them that power to do that to you.
Yeah.
So I think I'm getting better at that, and that's pretty helpful. Yeah. What about you?
Allison gave me like a line where she's like, you just gotta say this to yourself when you're in exactly that situation, which is, it's not my burden to bear.
Yep.
It's not my burden to bear. Additionally, I would like to touch on, where did it go? It was just in front of me and then it was totally gone. Not my burden to bear. Oh, yeah, I do have a high stress, high anxiety thing. When, do you ever get panic attacks?
I think I've had 2 to 3 in my life, but it is not a recurring.
I used to get them pretty frequent.
Did
and
you?
I still get a little dizzy, headspacey sometimes when I'm just feeling the pressure too much. One of the best tips that I ever got from a therapist was just put, because I notice I oftentimes don't sit with my feet flat on the ground or whatever, is she's like, put your feet flat on the ground and focus on the feeling of your feet against the floor.
Huh.
Which is really weird, but it's like a really good way to feel grounded.
Yeah,
when you're
to
just
feel...
feeling very stressed. Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Also, in addition to with that, she told me, Raegan, you don't need 2 pots of coffee a day. That's probably part of it.
Ooh, let me.
Sue, it was Sue.
Sue.
It was
couple things.
Most of it.
It was most of it. That's again to reiterate. There are things like diet that I can't remember if we talked about it in this episode or in the food episode, and sleep.
Yeah.
Where listen.
Sleep.
If you eat right and you get enough sleep, that does not mean you won't have mental health issues.
Yeah.
But you should sure as hell try to improve
do
those things.
Yeah.
And that was making me think of, like, things my therapist has said, like, Dan, let's maybe try to sleep more than 5 hours a night.
Yeah, that might be good.
And
eat a meal.
And also, I would say if you're asking for mantras that our therapists have given us, one really great one would be, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Or you can just think to yourself, SLL, sweet little ladies. It is what it is. Sweet little. Just wake up every day and try to be a sweet little lady, no matter who you are.
And I think that about does it.
That about does it. All right. Good night.
Good night. Wow, I meant like, I didn't mean that about does it for the episode. I just meant like, that says it all.
Yeah, that does say it all. Next week we'll be talking about weird phrases such as, it is what it is, I cannot abide by, and in and of itself.
And we won't be talking about dragons.
We will for sure be talking about dragons.
Dragons.
Imagine Raegans.
Chris Schmidt hates that even more than Imagine Dragons.
He's like, oh my god, if that was, I'm gonna make a brand new podcast called Imagine Raegan, and it's just gonna be me talking about dragons.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be.
You have to do something with that. Or that's your first stand-up album. It's called Imagine
Raegan. Why do you say my name? My name is Raegan. But yeah, I'm gonna that'll be my first Netflix special of the many I'm going to totally have. Nothing but on the up and up and success here. You know why? Because I'm in therapy.
And we're sweet little ladies.
Bye-bye.